I just got kicked out of the club as the president, so you can ask your board why that happened, but I do want to say one thing. I'll accept that, except for, that's not the way that typically works at all. In fact, according to your own rules, you would need the club and the entire club to do that. So when I started this, I do want to say one thing here. When I started running, nobody wanted to run to be the president. Nobody wanted to be the vice president either. And I told everybody, hey, if you guys want me to run, I'm going to do some changes. We want to see some stuff. We want to do some digital repeaters. We want to do stuff like that. We got a lot of people asking for those things. And, it's a little bit of a surprise that folks want to, change their mind later on. So the board has just decided to do that, so I want to let you know that I'll respect that if that's what the club really wants. But the truth of the matter is that according to Tennessee law, if you've got someone who's elected publicly, which I was, you can't have a board meeting like that, impromptu, without telling me and just vote me out in the corner of the room. Right? So you would need to actually get everybody at the club meeting to do that. But if that's the way you guys want to run the club, you're showing to the people that have been coming that this is not good. This is not a good way to handle business. And I would also like to point out that, the repeater guys have been angered. The guys that went down this last weekend and worked on the club repeaters are angered by that. So I'm a little bit shocked, but if that's what the club wants, that's unfortunate. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Joe.
Thank you, Ty. And it is the sincere apology of the board that it came to this, and accept our gratitude for the service that you have rendered. We do appreciate that, but I want the membership to understand and know that this was a unified decision of the board of directors, that this is what was determined needs to happen. We can certainly have any amount of discussion with any member. Any board member will give you insight into information as to why this decision was made. We were not trying to hide that decision. We're not trying to not give full insight as to what that decision was about. But I will firmly echo, and will ask all of the board members to come up here and echo it as well, that this decision was a unanimous decision of all of the board members. It was not done lightly, and it was not done trivially. As any situation, even businesses have situations where CEOs have to be removed by a board of directors for various reasons. And again, I'll just say it again, we did not take this lightly. We did not undertake this without consideration, and we did not take this as a single thing. It was a unanimous decision. So I'm going to just take a second, and we'll pass the mic down the room, because everybody may not have heard it. I'm going to ask each individual board member to affirm that they were in agreement with this. And then to the point that everybody's looking of why, I will try to give some brief explanation as to why.
It's not going to work.
I guess I'll start. So I do want to say thank you for everybody who's here tonight, and I know a lot of you are probably sitting here kind of wondering where this came from. For anybody who has tuned in to watch the board meetings and all the other things that have been posted up online, we've gotten a lot of feedback from members about concerns about how things were going and whatnot, for folks who were truly kind of listening. And I will say that this board as a whole wants to do a lot, and we do want to make some changes and continue some changes that have been made. But I know in my personal opinion, it's been a struggle to say the very least. And at the end of the day, while it might not seem that way to some of you in here, I will say that the decisions made tonight by the board and leading up to tonight were made in the best interest of this club as a whole.
I have to echo Mary Jean's sentiment. It's been a difficult decision to make. You know, we've spent a lot of time in additional meetings that you know, where we've attempted to get along with our former president, and things just were. He made it was just a difficult, almost hostile situation that we dealt with, and so we. You know, I hope that you as members can see the attempts that we've made, and that we are looking for the best interest of the club, and that we will come out of this with come out on the other end stronger. Thank you.
For me, I think Ty had a lot of great ideas and had a vision of where he wanted the club to go, and we're not against those ideas. But there were so many methods, so many things that just caused so much stress. It affected my family, it affected me personally, my health, it affected my work, and we truly, truly tried. This was our last resort, and so it wasn't our first option, it really wasn't. And I hope you guys understand, and I hope you guys will support us in moving forward. It's going to take some time to heal. I know there's hurt feelings, but we are going to be stronger as a club down the road, because we're all going to work hard to keep us moving in the right direction.
My name is Perry Hayes. I appreciate everybody being here tonight and taking the time to listen to us. Since December, we've had quite a journey on the board of directors. I'm relatively new, but most of these people standing up here with me have given you 2, 3, 5, 7, even more years of service. I know that personally, I've called the net for Delta Club. I've taught at Delta Club license classes. I've been on the VE team. I've been on the board of directors. I've served as vice president of the club. And I've also been secretary of the club. And it's just hard really to explain to y'all the mood and the way that our new president dealt with the board members and the way that he conducted business. It was tough. And I'll agree with John, and I want to speak for anyone else, but there was a lot of nights that I did not sleep. There was a lot of nights that I did not think of anything else. And there was a lot of nights, honestly, that I felt physically ill by what was going on. And, a lot of this stuff is on video. A lot of this stuff is on the minutes of the club. And if you're interested, please watch it. There were some things done in your name, in the name of this club, the people that have been members of this club and put their heart and soul into it for years that would rip your guts out. And that's all that I have to say about it. And we just didn't have many options left, folks. We really didn't. And this is tough and it's emotional, and I'm upset about it, but we're always asked to operate in your best interest, in the best interest of this club, and I honestly believe that that's what we've done. And I ask you, as John did, let's just pick up the pieces, let's move from this together and make this club even better than it already is. And we appreciate you and your thoughts and your attention. And I'll pass it to Mike. He's more eloquent than I am.
No, there's really not a whole lot for me left to say. I mean, I echo everything that everyone has said up here. It was a unanimous decision. It was not taken lightly. So,
as the longest tenured board member of 17 and a quarter years now, it was very traumatic for me to have to go through this Some of the ideas were good. It was the method of the way they were handled. There was concern about the team, the organization of the club, and the way he perceived it versus the way the bylaws are so stated. I'm sorry that this has had to happen. I've had some sleepless nights and really and truly feel that this was about the only way that it could happen. And Joe, thank you for stepping up.
Joe, thank you.
And taking part in this. And we thank Randy for, I know it's going to run over a little bit, but we thank him for allowing us to go tonight. And from now, I guess we need to go over the budget.
We do.
Can I say one
Oh,
more thing?
no.
And I do want to say one more thing. So we have had several board members resign in just 2 months, give or take. And then even one of the new board members that joined in had already resigned as well. So it's not, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But I did also want to say that we wanted to make sure that we did this tonight in front of you all, so that way you had you had the ability to talk to us face to face if you wanted to. So we didn't go and wait till we had a Zoom or something where you didn't have a way to easily get in touch with us. So we did want to make sure that we did that here with you all.
And I just want to echo that. There was much debate, much angst over this, and we decided that this is not something that needed to be done without full membership visibility, with the membership being involved and being able to see it and have direct access to us to answer your questions, so that you understand why we decided that we had to execute this particular mode of remediation to bring the club back to a calmness. And so I just appreciate the calmness that everyone will exhibit. I ask everyone a couple of things. I'm going to ask some very specific things from everyone in our membership, please. Our club is still engaged in wanting to make some of these new and energetic changes that were part of what this year was going to be and is still going to be. I ask everyone to still latch onto those, still support those, and still move those changes forward. They're exciting changes. One of the other changes that I would ask you to do is ask your other ham friends that aren't a member of the club to come join our club and have fun with us and to learn about ham radio and some of the cool projects that you can do that are adjacent to amateur radio. Our membership, if we add members, we add additional interest and additional people and diversity of thought. And that is a fantastic thing for our club to do and grow. And we get to pass to the next generation and the next generation after that of amateur radio operators the thrill of our hobby. So the very specific things that I'm asking you as membership out there to do is continue to embrace the change. We're not abandoning the change that was going forward, that was working on this year. We're not abandoning our repeaters and the work that's gone into that. We're not abandoning some of the fun things that are out there. What we are abandoning is disrespectful and immature. That's not the right word. I apologize. That's not the right word. Disrespectful and unpolite treatment of other human beings. We got to a point where we had to act, and I thank you as the membership for understanding that, and please don't hesitate to ask any questions of the board. We will gladly answer them. Yes, sir.
Do we need to ratify as members your actions tonight to satisfy anything that comes out of DIE over this?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that the bylaws actually require that, but what we can do, just as a matter of order, is I can put it out to the membership to approve that, and we can vote as a membership body that is here.
I make a motion that we vote to affirm or disaffirm the board's action.
There's a motion on the floor to affirm or disaffirm the board's action. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Ham made the motion, Ned made the second. Okay. Are there any, I'm gonna do this kind of an odd way just to make this a little easier. Are there any disaffirms?
Well, I have a disaffirmment, if you will, is the way you did it. I understand why, and I accept that, and I think you were right. But to persecute a guy in front of everybody this way is disgraceful, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So,
Totally agree.
I understand fully, and I will repeat that again. But to bitch slap a guy like that in front of everybody in the last seconds of a meeting, I wasn't brought up that way, I'm sorry. But I accept your decision. And I've never spoken up in this club before, but I thought that was bad. Bad move.
I will admit to you, we did debate how to approach this. And it was decided upon unanimously that we had to approach it that way. So there is one disaffirm. Are everyone else in the room as members affirming? I'm sorry, are you affirming? You disaffirm. So.
I'm not disaffirming, I'm just with the way you did it is all I'm
Right.
saying my piece.
All right. All right. So, all in favor of affirming the actions of the board to remove the president, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? One opposed. May I have your call, please?
WA4MJM.
WA4MJM.
And K4BLL.
And sorry?
KA4BLL.
And KA4BLL, disaffirmed. And
KX4LO.
KX4LO are voting no. The motion does carry as a majority of the membership. Okay. Any questions? Any additional questions? So I will give this one, I won't try to go into exact detail, but there was an action as deemed by the board of misconduct by the president that resulted in his removal. We will be glad to go into the detail. I don't want to do that personally in a public forum, but I will give you that that is the reason that the board chose to take this action. I will gladly discuss it one-on-one. Did any of the other board members have any other discussion? Any other members have any other discussion?
I'd just like to say one thing. If people want to really get a grasp of what happened, it's all on YouTube, the meeting. All you got to do is look at it and you can see exactly what was going on.
Yes, sir.
And if you're gonna watch the meetings, don't just watch one video for 10 minutes. Start with, there's 4 or 5 of them and go through from start to finish. And you'll see what these people have had to try to deal with. Seriously, I've talked to some people and they said, "Oh, I watched 10 minutes of it and it didn't seem that bad." Watch all, if you can, watch all the videos and watch it from start to finish to see how things actually deteriorated instead of improved.
Any other questions from the membership? Again, thank you for your understanding. Please bear with us. We're going to still have a lot of fun this year. We're going to still do a lot of fun things. And I would just ask for you to keep engaged with the club, please. All right, we do have some business that we do need to conduct. We had a question, yes.
While you're talking about fun things, we started Ham 101 tonight, 5 people. All right. We need some more. If you haven't come, we'll start at 5:30. Come on, if you don't get here till 6, we're starting next month with wire antennas.
All right, there's a couple of things we need the membership for real quick because we got some old business we got to do. I promise we'll make this really super quick. Okay? All right, a couple of quick questions. We have old business that we have to do real quick. We need to pick up the February minutes were not approved at the last meeting. So we need to approve the February minutes for both the board and the membership meeting. They have been published in Spark in February. Normally, we would have to read those minutes, but
I make a motion that we accept February minutes as published in Spark.
so Ham made the motion and I'm going to struggle with names, but it has a proper second. I'm sorry.
Lynn Rice.
Lynn seconded that. So there's a motion on the floor, properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Fantastic. So that's one piece of old business. Another piece of old business that we need to take care of real quick is in the February meeting, we tabled the budget approval process that the memberships needs to do. The board has had a couple of meetings around budget, and we've gotten to a new budget. We published that budget in the March, it was slightly revised, in the March issue of Sparks. Hopefully everyone has seen that. A couple of things that I would point out about the budget, it's actually on the screen behind me. The budget is just that, it is a budget. It can be brought before the membership and amended if needed. Or if we find out that there is a repeater that needs something, or there's something along those lines, whatever the repeater committee comes back and tells us, we can find out, and we may have to go back and amend the budget. So with that being said, Jim, do you have any discussion or any questions or any statements that you would like to make on the budget? Not to put you on the spot, but.
Oh, no problem. Okay, as mentioned, our budget was published in Sparks last month, and again this month with just a few tweaks to it, mainly in the area of what we have listed as repeater upgrades. These numbers should be very similar to what we've seen in past years. We did have an increase in the budgeted amount for refreshments. As everybody knows, the cost of food and drinks have gone up, so we did go over our budget last year by about $250, so we did bump that up from $500 to $800. But the one item that we do need to point out is line 26 here, where it says repeater system upgrades. In past years, we've listed $1,000. As you can see from the second column, so the first column is what we budgeted last year. The second column is what we actually spent or took in. And the last column is what we're looking at budgeting for 2024. So you can see that we budgeted $1,000 last year. We spent $4,000. 2,000 of that was for a tower climb, 2,000 or roughly 2,000 for a new repeater, and then there was $35 in there for renewal of our trustee license, the W4BS. Now for this year, we toiled over how much to actually put in for repeater maintenance, and we're still waiting on the report from the repeater committee so that we can put an accurate number in there. We did bump it up knowing that there were some issues that we may face, and obviously, this past year we had to go over. But anytime we've gone over that budget, we have come back to the club and presented the case for why we need to spend this money, and then we ask for approval, and we get a vote from the membership. So, so there's a good chance that we'll be coming back to you for approval if the repeater committee comes back with some suggestions and some firm figures on what it's going to cost to make sure that our repeaters are running properly and remain top notch. Any questions about that?
Have we included in the budget anywhere, we registered the change costs on the repeater trustees and the registration?
Well, I don't know if the registrations require a change.
You're gonna spend at least $100.
You're talking about changing the repeater trustee who's listed, or who's listed as the trustee of the W4BS? No, actually, we didn't include that. I mean, it was included in, or in the expenditures from last year, but, I think it was only $35.
35?
Yeah.
35.
I think it went up.
No, it's 35.
Yeah,
And
it was just
don't we have
renewed.
to do the local, the southeast thing too?
We're just a member of it.
But I think that trustees on that too. If we're having to do it for tomorrow.
So, one of the things that we may have to do is if we find an expense that isn't in the budget, we'll either have to bring it back to the membership from the board, or bring it an approved, amended budget. That's certainly an option if we find that expense. I don't know for sure, just jumping in a little new to this. But I do think the board does have a little bit of discretionary, board money to cover little things like that that kind of pop up. So that may be used out of that budget category.
As of right now, Barry McDonald is still on as trustee.
All right, thank you.
I make a motion to accept the budget as discussed tonight.
Second.
So, clarification, the budget was tabled, so we need to pick it up off the table and then we can move to approve.
Well, I make a motion, we pick it up off the table and approve it. That's what he meant. Second.
All right, so we got Ham's made the motion and it was seconded by
Take 40XF.
A4DXM. All right, so the motion to pick it, I'm sorry?
DXF.
DXF. Hey, I'll get there, I promise, eventually. All right, second is approved. The motion is to pick it up off the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any discussion on the budget? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the budget?
I make a motion, we approve the budget as discussed tonight. Second.
All right, the motion made by Ham, seconded by Ned. The motion is to approve the budget as discussed tonight. Is there, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? There are no in opposition. The budget is approved by the membership. All right, so that's the old business. If I'm forgetting anything, I don't think so. Now into new, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Now into new business. We've got some new business that we got to take care of. We've got a slew of marked minutes that are published in Sparks that we need to talk about and read through and have approved, as well as minutes.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes that were published in Sparks this month.
In the treasurer's report.
All of them.
So there's a motion.
All three of the minutes. I read them all.
I did too.
Who seconded? Okay, so Ham made the motion to approve the minutes, all sets of minutes, as well as the treasurer report. Lynn seconded that motion. So the motion is to approve the minutes, 3 sets, and 1 treasurer's report as published in Sparks. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No, motion carries. All right, so that is the bare minimum of new business that we have to take care of. There is a couple of reports that I'd love to hear from the various board members real quick, Mike, and then we'll get out of here real quick. I'm going to ask real quick, just shamelessly, please fill out your signal reports because that helps us develop the program. There is a long form response on them now, so if you have more text you want, and also if you don't bring your smartphone, I did bring paper copies, so if you need a paper copy, I've got signal reports up here that you can fill out with an A pen or a pencil. So that's the membership. Membership is growing. The numbers I published in Spark are encouraging. We have got lots of renewals, and I'm still asking that everyone ask their friends and neighbors and other hams to join the club. We'd love to see you and come out and have some fun with some of the new programs. We're getting new hams all the time. So that's my report. I'm going to pass it to Joe right quick for the training report, and then we'll go around the horns.
Tech class 224 is in session. It'll meet the fourth session will be Thursday night. We've got testing the week after that, and then the equipment demonstration after that. So it'll be over with on Saturday, the 23rd of March. We've got 14 students right now in the class. One of the students tested last night and passed his tech and general as well.
All right. There's John. John, what do we got on tap for program?
I actually don't have anything yeah,
We'll get back to you on that.
we're gonna have something good. As a matter of fact, I know one thing that we may, in coming programs is go over to our Finder Radio, which is a DMR platform, if I can figure it out myself, so.
All right. So look for some upcoming program. That is an excellent thing for you. Put in the signal report. Tell us what you want to hear in the free-form text field at the bottom of the report. Tell us what you want to see. All right, let's see. Who's my next board member that's wandering around? Any other board members? Treasurer, you've already talked about it. Perry, you have anything?
No, sir. Appreciate you, Dan. Thank you for making my job easy.
Mike, do you have anything from Sparks, Publications?
Nothing at this time. There's several updates that need to be made to the website. I'll be working on those over the next month, so it'll be some maintenance on that.
All right, thank you very much. Mayor Jean, and then we'll end with you, and then we'll wrap it up. No report from past president, Mayor Jean. All right, so we're all good. Thank you for everyone coming tonight. Our meeting will be next month. I do want to put a couple of dates out there for everyone. Don't forget about Free Fest. It's April 6th. It's in Bartlett. At their, what's the exact location that it's at? Bartlett Municipal Center, Civic Center.
5868 State Road.
5868 State Road. Free Fest, April 6th, Saturday.
I take it.
Buy tickets and support LeBonner. The other date that I put out there is, don't forget about, it's a little ways away, don't forget about field day. It's coming up, it's closer than you think. And then we've got our Huntsville bus to Huntsville coming up in August. So just some advanced dates to think about. Yes, sir. We do have some open board positions. We've got a PIO position that's open. So if anybody's really good with Facebook, all the social platforms, we need a PIO position, or anybody that wants to step up and kind of take the public face for the club, that position is open, and we're seeking a candidate, some person that would want to step into that role. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me of that. It's so, I'm still forgetting a lot of stuff probably. All right. We have overstayed our welcome, so I'm going to ask
Make
for
a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Ham and seconded by John Reniers. Any opposed? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned.